What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Elite Sports Recovery and Performance Podcast. I'm your host, Nate Avila, a licensed sports massage therapist, and today I'm diving deep into a topic that has gained a lot of attention in the recovery, movement, and performance world over the last decade: fascial lines. And if you're someone who's experienced fascial lines or through reading anatomy trains or learning about fascial lines and through schooling, well, great, perfect. Then you definitely would love this episode and always can share your feedback and opinions through comments on the episode as well. Because you have heard of it through either your personal trainer, therapist, or massage professionals talk about fascia, the fascial chains, or the body being connected from head to toe. But what does it really mean if you're a client listening to this? More importantly, how does it impact athletic performance, injury prevention, and recovery? By the end of this episode, my job is to try to do my best in my ability to help you understand why your shoulder pain might actually start at your hip, or why tight calves can affect your lower back, and why treating the body as one connected system can unlock better movement and performance. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the very simple basics. What is fascial, or the fascia connection? Fascia is a connective tissue that surrounds and connects the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the bones, the nerves, and the organs. That sounds like a lot, but it is true. It is all basically connecting together. Think of fascia as a three-dimensional web, like a spider web, that holds the body together. Most people view muscles as individual structures, but fascia creates continuity throughout the entire body. Instead of isolated muscles working independently, fascia allows forces to be transmitted through multiple regions at once. And this is one reason why movement is never truly isolated, but your body is always working as a system together. One of the most influential concepts in fascia comes from the idea of myofascial meridians, or fascial lines. These are chains of muscles and connective tissue that work together to create movement. Some of the major lines include the superficial back line, which runs from bottom of the feet, calves, hamstrings, lower back, neck, and scalp. This line is heavily involved in sprinting, jumping, bending, and posture. Now we have the other one is called the superficial front line, which runs through the shins, quads, hip flexors, abdomen, and chest. Important for acceleration, deceleration, and core control. We also have our lateral lines run along the sides of the body, which those are responsible for balance, change of direction, single leg stability. Critical for athletes who cut, pivot, and rotate. We also have the spiral line, which is the last line which connects opposite sides of the body. Think throwing, swinging, rotating, punching. This line becomes extremely important in sports like baseball, golf, tennis, and combat sports. I know that was a lot, but stay with me here, because here's where things get interesting. Athletic performance is built on force production and force transfer. Most people focus on creating force. Elite athletes transfer force efficiently. Baseball players don't throw with their arm, doesn't throw with their arm, excuse me. A golfer doesn't swing with their hands. A sprinter doesn't run with just their legs, and performance is the result of multiple segments of the body working together. So fascial lines help connect these segments all together. When the chains work efficiently, movement becomes smoother, power output increases, energy leaks decrease, coordination also improves. The body becomes more efficient. Also, one of the biggest lessons fascial lines teach us is this: the site of pain is not always the source of the problem. For example, if a runner develops knee pain, everyone focuses on the knee, but the real issue could be restricted ankle mobility, tight calves, or weak hips. The entire chain influences the stress placed on the knee. The same thing happens with shoulder pain, lower back pain, neck tension, and hip discomfort. This is why treating symptoms alone often provides temporary relief. You have to assess the entire system. So if you're ever in a session, for example, with me, and I'm working something that's completely unrelated to your lower back pain, it's because as a professional, we work on areas that are often unrelated to the pain. Because a client comes in with shoulder tightness, but the treatment includes thoracic spine, lats, obliques, and hips. Why? Because we're addressing the chain. When we improve mobility and tissue quality throughout the line, movement often improves dramatically. Recovery becomes less about chasing pain and more about restoring function. Practical applications for athletes that we use, we focus on using the information at hand of what was given by the athlete. So train movement patterns focus on squat, lunges, carries, rotational exercises instead of only isolated muscles. Improve mobility globally. Don't just stretch where it hurts. We assess the ankles, hips, thoracic spine, shoulders. Movement restrictions often travel through the chain, and we prioritize recovery. Recovery isn't just about sore muscles, it's about maintaining tissue quality throughout the entire system. So we include, I mentioned sports massage, mobility work, foam rolling, recovery sessions, and active movement. That would definitely overall apply practical applications for an athlete. So the biggest takeaway here is your body doesn't just operate as separate parts. It operates as an interconnected system. Fascial lines help explain why movement, performance, and pain are often influenced by regions far away from where the systems show up. The better these chains move, load, transfer, force, the better you'll perform. Whether you're trying to sprint faster, lift heavier, throw harder, or simply stay healthy, understanding the body's connection are completely change how you approach training and recovery. But today has been a great episode. Thank you for tuning into the Elite Sports Recovery and Performance Podcast. I'm your host again, Nate Avila. And if you found this episode value, share it with a teammate, athlete, coach, or someone who wants to understand how the body really works inside of this episode. Until next time, stay working out.